The second most expensive spice in the world, vanilla, is often worse than the cheap, fake stuff when used in your favorite cake recipe. Know the exact culinary breaking point where one molecule is the smarter, better choice than 250 identified chemical compounds. Real vanilla extract is an orchestra of 200 different aromatic compounds. All the deep, dark flavor you taste in the real deal comes from minor compounds like p-hydroxybenzaldehyde and vanillic acid. These chemicals act like supporting flavor instruments that round out the sound. They give natural vanilla its rich, lingering taste. Under FDA 21 CFR 169, pure vanilla extract must be produced exclusively from vanilla beans at a defined minimum concentration of about 100 grams of beans per liter of liquid. To understand why those exact beans command such a massive price, you have to look at the fragile biology that creates them. You won't believe how long a farmer has to wait just to see the first flower from the vanilla vine, and that flower has a strict time limit. Most of the world's commercial flavor comes from the cured pods of the orchid species Vanilla planifolia, which accounts for roughly 80% of the global supply. This plant is grown primarily in Madagascar's Sava region. The specific trade name you often see in grocery stores, Bourbon vanilla, does not mean the extract contains bourbon whiskey. Bourbon vanilla refers geographically to beans originating from the Indian Ocean islands, including Madagascar, Comoros, and Réunion. Real vanilla costs 15 to 30 times higher than that of synthetic vanillin. This staggering markup is driven almost entirely by the extreme labor involved in forming this specific orchid. Unless it is grown in Mesoamerica, where its native Melipona bee lives, every single vanilla flower worldwide must be pollinated by human hands. The Melipona bee is the specific delivery driver for vanilla's reproduction. Without this tiny bug, the plant is locked. It cannot produce a fruit. This means farmers face a massive agricultural hurdle. They have to manually open every single locked box instead of having one universal key. The successful technique for industrial hand-pollination worldwide was actually invented in 1841 by Edmund Albius, a 12-year-old slave on Réunion Island, then Île Bourbon. A 12-year-old's hands performed delicate surgery on a tiny orchid flower. This historical accident is why we can enjoy vanilla today. But it hasn't reduced the manual labor required one bit. A vanilla vine takes over 3 years just to produce its first flower. As King Sun Food Tech reports, it takes over 3 years for a vanilla seedling to bloom after planting. When that delicate flower finally opens, it only survives for a few hours. If a farmer misses that tiny window, the flower dies. No bean grows. A farmer can stand in a field of 3-year-old bloomless vines waiting for a single morning to strike. Pollination is only the beginning of the labor. The delicious flavor compounds do not even exist yet in the fresh plant. Once pollinated, the green bean spends approximately 210 to 240 days just ripening on the vine. Then it has to undergo a specialized curing and sweating process to unlock the flavor. Farmers lay the green beans out to dry. They wrap them in heavy blankets. Then they leave the beans sweating under burlap in the hot sun. This multi-stage curing and sweating process takes 3 to 6 months and is highly labor-intensive. These are nature's tiny chemical processes that unlock the scent stored inside the raw green bean. It is the exact same slow aging process that turns grapes into fine wine. The long waiting time means farmers cannot rush the product to market. This leads to massive price tags and huge vulnerability to sudden weather events. While Madagascar accounts for roughly 80% of the global supply, other regions produce entirely distinct varietals. Tahitian vanilla comes from a distinct species known as V. tahentensis. It is heavily prized for its unique floral and cherry notes. These specific tastes come from the compound heliotropin, piperonal, which is completely absent in standard Madagascar vanilla. The dark, oily surface of a cured Tahitian bean is unmatched for cold applications like pastry creams. Companies know exactly how much you value these natural flavors. In fact, they can legally label cheap flavor as natural vanillin, even though it never touched a bean. We will show you how they do it and what to look for. Subscribe, please. Subscribe, please. Inside a cured vanilla bean, the primary chemical compound responsible for the recognizable sweet vanilla scent is called vanillin. Think of vanillin as the lead singer in the flavor band. It is essential, but it requires backup. Vanillin only makes up about 1.5 to 2% of dry bean weight in grade A pods. The other 98% of the bean's material is where the cost and depth of flavor hide. Because of this extreme expense, food scientists found a brilliant shortcut. Imitation vanilla drops the orchestra entirely. It relies on one single chemical molecule, 4-hydroxy-3-methoxybenzaldehyde. Instead of sweating under burlap for weeks, this flavor comes as a vial of pure, stable, single-molecule white powder. That imitation vanilla you buy for $2 is frequently produced by treating lignin, a byproduct of the wood pulp and paper industry, or synthesized from petrochemicals like guaiacol. A massive pile of wood pulp waste is turned into a sweet baking ingredient. It is like making gold from industrial scrap metal. This industrial process completely sidesteps all the orchid labor, the hand-pollination, and the market volatility. As noted by vanillanice.com, synthetic vanillin runs 15 to 25 per kilogram versus 300 to 600 per kilogram for well-cured Madagascar beans, a 15-30x gap that drives purchasing decisions. This price gap creates tricky legal loopholes. Watch out for labels on the grocery shelf. Regulations allow vanillin produced by fermenting ferulic acid or rice bran to be labeled natural vanillin, even though it is not derived from the bean itself. It is a perfectly acceptable non-bean shortcut, but it has absolutely nothing to do with a real vanilla orchid. You need to know this molecular difference to stop wasting expensive vanilla on recipes where it simply does not matter. The $300 spice is mandatory hand-pollinated, beautifully complex, and often flavor worse than cheap imitations in high-heat recipes. If you are making something cold or gently warmed, like ice cream, pudding, or a delicate custard, the 250 complex compounds of real vanilla shine perfectly. But when you bake a cake, muffins, or cookies at high temperatures, the chemistry flips entirely. An aromatic compound is a molecule that evaporates easily and carries scent or flavor. They act like tiny keys that fit into your nose's flavor locks. However, they are highly volatile flavors. They act like a delicate perfume that disappears quickly when warmed. When you put real vanilla extract into an oven at 350 degrees to bake a batch of chocolate chip cookies, a dense cloud of those expensive, delicate flavor molecules just evaporates into the air. The heat destroys the very complexity you paid up to 30 times more for. Meanwhile, imitation vanilla is highly resilient because the single molecule of synthetic vanillin provides a strong, less volatile flavor. It remains completely stable during baking. It survives the heat. It stands up to the boiling temperatures without breaking down. The cheap, single molecule liquid holds tightly onto its flavor profile, while the expensive orchestra burns away. If you liked this 9 butters ranked by how they actually bake, that's the next one.